What's going on, guys? My name is Victor. I'm from Embody Success, the program and the website. And today I'm going to tell you how you can conquer your depression. I used to be very depressed. I have experienced very deep degrees of depression. The most depressed time I can recall was when I came off of heroin. When I was 18 years old, I used heroin to cope with social anxiety and anxiety I had that stemmed from a tragedy I experienced as a young kid. I've talked about it in some videos. I was hit by a firecracker and I got burned really badly, and I had to wear these ridiculous looking things called pressure garments, and and just being in a social setting and being at that young age where you're going through puberty and all that good stuff, I had a lot of anxiety, and the heroin helped me. It basically made it go away completely. I got to finally live free of it for these little glimpses that I was actually high. Anyway, I eventually got off it. But when you come off of an opiate or anything else that really messes with your dopamine receptors and your serotonin receptors, where you're putting something in your body that floods your brain with these pleasure chemicals, you stop producing those naturally. And what happens is once you stop using the drug that was creating these rushes of endorphins, you're left in a fucking stale, awful, miserable, like a synthetic degree of depression where you're suicidal. You really are. I was anyway. I felt like not like I had lost my soul. Like I was just so empty and hopeless and just pathetic. And then my life situation was reflecting that to me, because I really was all those things. I had nothing. I had no job, no respect, no dignity. Everyone I knew, everyone I loved that loved me, lost trust and respect and faith in me. I felt like I had nothing. And then I had this depression that made it impossible to get out of bed, let alone to go and get a job or go to college or whatever people thought I should do. So it was a dark time for me. But you know what? I got over it. There's a couple things I did that helped me dramatically. One of them was I started to, and this took me a little while. This is more of a retrospective insight I had after the fact, but I'm going to share it with you guys so you don't have to go through as long of a depression as I did to discover this. It's more of an acceptance of the natural ebb and flow and rhythms of nature. Nature, if you haven't noticed, is constantly changing. There are expansions and contractions. Expansions are when you're moving forward, you're feeling good, you're enthused, you're buying the house, you're getting the job, you're meeting the girl, you're hitting a PR in the gym. Those are the expansions. But inevitably, you can't get too attached to those, because no matter what it is, no matter who you are, then you come back in. Things start to slow down. The excitement of the new chick wears off. You're at a standstill with the gym. You had a bad grade on your test, and you're realizing your bank account's getting kind of low. And that's the external reflection, but inside you're feeling the reciprocity of all that going on. It actually starts from in here, and this out here is the reflection. But you're not feeling enthusiasm. You're not feeling excited. And then most people's minds are judging this as bad. I'm depressed, I don't feel good, I don't like this, I wish I was over here where everything was going fast for me. But you understand, the reality we find ourselves in is a dualistic reality where there is up and down, high and low, good and bad, black and white. Okay? If you didn't have these times, these depression times, then the experience of the meeting the girl and so on and so forth, that would not exist. There would be no contrast. So for one, you have to understand the laws of the universe, the rhythms of nature will have you expanding and contracting. And primarily it's your definition of the depression as bad. And that's how you kind of lull and linger in it longer and longer, because you're like, wow, I don't feel good. I can't believe I feel this way. This sucks. And then you start drinking more and going out with your friends more and falling into your little addictive patterns more as a way to escape, because you're labeling it as bad. This shouldn't be happening. This is not good. I wish I was back over here. That is the mistake. That's the primary thing you could do right now that can kind of zap you out of it. 2, you can learn from the depression. A depression is more like, in the course of our journey through life, we are always going somewhere. We never have made it. There's always something something we've grown from and something we're working towards. That's just it's a natural progression and evolution of the human life. There's nothing you can do about that. One second. And a lot of times we come to these standstills where we don't know where to go. We feel kind of lost. And we're looking in books, we're looking online, we're talking to people, and like the answers aren't really coming. So a lot of times we'll go into a depression as a result. But a depression is when it's an opportunity to discover the answers in which you seek inside. Because everything you really need to know is inside of you. It really is. That sounds like a corny little cliche and metaphor, but it's actually empirically true. It's physics. It's true. Okay? And when someone says it to you, when you hear it out there, it's really just because your frequency has elevated to a point where the answer just popped in. Anyway, I don't want to get too off track, but use the opportunity to say, why is this, what's the message of these feelings? These feelings are obviously trying to tell me something, to guide me in a particular direction. What is the key of this? Maybe I'm labeling my life in a particular way that's no longer in alignment with who I want to become. So therefore I have to kind of go inside and say, okay, you know what? I'm feeling depressed because I think I should be further along in my life. A lot of my friends are getting married, they're having kids, and I'm still here in an apartment and I'm all alone. I just got this dog. I don't have a girlfriend. But that's it. That's the definition. You're defining your situation as wrong, as bad, as unadvanced because you're comparing yourself to these people. Well, what if you compare yourself to kids in Ethiopia your age, huh? They're standing in the fucking mud, searching around for fucking sprouts to eat. So it's all about where you're comparing yourself to. So stop comparing yourself. Accept where you are. That's just an example of how a depression can lead to an enlightened state where you can see your situation more clearly, and then you can kind of get back on the fast track, back into the expansion. And there's a third bonus tip I want to give you. It's just a reminder that no matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, it will pass. And it will pass because just as all the good times eventually come back in, the bad times will eventually go back out. And if you can learn from your mistakes and learn from your depressions, you can expand further and further and further and soar higher and higher and higher and higher as you progress through life, instead of staying stagnant or on a decline like most of these people on this fucking planet who have picked up too many negative labels and they judge their situation too much, as I just described. I don't know what the fuck's at my house. Anyway, that's my take on it, guys. Stop labeling your depression as something bad. Learn from it and soar for the fucking stars, because that's what you are capable of. Peace.